Here. Happy birthday to you guys, too.
Yeah, 16, baby.
16
years
old.
old. Yeah.
We were talking, if people missed it in the last segment, flute transport, 99 years old.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. I'm like their great grandson, I guess.
So to speak, yeah.
I guess
You're the love child.
I'm one of those, I guess. Exactly. I'm a descendant way off on that one. Yeah,
16 years though.
16. It's hard to believe. Yeah, literally today at this time, 11:30, I actually went down, registered the company, and I thought to myself, what am I doing? And got this agency. It's hard to believe the ups and downs you go through. And we began in 2003. That's 16 years ago, if anyone's doing the math. And and I'm just looking at it from a perspective, and I was doing some analysis. First of all, the iPhone didn't exist. Apple was in jeopardy. The shares were only at $86 a share. Facebook was nothing but a rumor at Harvard University, basically in this forum environment, and it had just started to get a little bit of some mainstream. And YouTube was just in the process of being purchased by Google. So I mean, it was still in its infant stage for its billion-dollar purchase. So if I look at those examples, and I think I'm really a failure because I have yet to get to a billion or a $1 trillion company at any given time. But the staff, and we're having a little pizza party today. We're going to celebrate, bring on a little bit of a little highlights of all the things we've been able to accomplish in the last. I'm a lot wiser. You can tell that though, eh, Bill? I mean, I got that wise-looking face to me.
So. I mean, from 16 years ago. Look where you are today. Did you envision that happening? I mean, you're in both sides. You've got U.S. affiliates now.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
2 offices down there, of course. 2 companies, really.
Yeah, when I look back, I mean, this year got a little. We had the rough time in 2009 when we got hit with the recession.
Who didn't?
And I mean, I really got bamboozled. And looking back, I'm proud of what I was able to do and recover. But I think to myself, from that time to where we are, every year I look back at the last 365 days as an agency and going, what have we been able to do? What have we been able to accomplish, and where do we go? So yeah, I mean, never in my wildest dreams would I have said to you 16 years ago, we're gonna have offices in Orlando and New York, and Hamilton's gonna be our hub. And yeah, that would not have been the discussion I would have had back then. It would have been like, hey, I certainly hope I'm still in business in 16 years and I can make a living at it. So
I know. I look at this. I've talked to a lot of people in startups, and they just hope they're still in business in 16 days.
No, it's true. Yeah, I mean, you need a mentor. I say this when I'm teaching at Mohawk, as I'm doing, and I say to the kids, listen, I really encourage everyone to do their own business, because you're going to want to be, whether it's tech or otherwise, you're going to want to be able to be your own boss, but you're going to work a minimum of 80 hours a week. You can't go to the ministry and say, hey, I'm not getting paid enough, and you have no one to complain about your vacation time. But the rewards of being able to say, you know what, it's mine. I built it. I was able to start it. And then once you get a staff under your crew, and I got a phenomenal team, they've been able to really leverage it, and they give me the satisfaction of, how do I make my boss not get angry every day? And so with that, I have to thank the crew for doing that for me. So congratulations, happy birthday, FPM3.
Happy anniversary, FPM3. Listen, we have a lot of fun talking about some tech stuff and some gadgets and things like this, and and we've got some medical information I want to talk about too.
Yep.
But right off the bat, I want to get into to this Momo thing. This is dangerous, and it's starting to spread. Talk to us about this.
Well, this has been around a year, and I've only started to hear about it in Canada in the last few months and so forth. Momo is this thing where, if you haven't heard about it, it's this wild-looking artwork from Japan. It was called Link Factory that did this.
Like anime stuff?
It's not anime. It was like a draw. It's kind of weird how to describe it, but think of it as a very horrific looking bird with hair. It does look Japanese, and it's kind of a half chicken. Someone took a photo of this, and what they do is they've implanted this in the middle of children videos, age very young, between grade 1 to grade 3. And what happens is, in the middle of the video that gets, I'd say, hacked, compensated, they put this video on, and kids were watching it. In the middle of the video, this Momo video pops up and says, would you like to play a game? Download an app, and I can be your friend.
So you've got a 6, 7, 8-year-old saying, yay, that one's neat.
Absolutely. And they click it and they go, ooh, and it is a little terrifying. So it's probably jarring for the young child to look at this and go, oh, what's this? Maybe I should.
Yeah, but it gets worse.
It gets worse, because once you, what they do is Momo will encourage you to jump on a WhatsApp. And then once you connect with them, or connect with this, whoever is on the other end of this, it will try to encourage you to commit suicide. And so this is a serious issue.
To commit, explain how they do this, though.
They tell
it's through threats.
It's through threats. So what they'll do is they'll say, if you don't, as an example, in the UK, this was quite a crisis. A little boy was encouraged to take a screwdriver and was told to stick it in the plugs into the outlets. And if he didn't do that, then he would come and he would kill mommy, daddy, and all the children or all of the siblings. Well, the little boy, thinking, I don't want that to happen to mommy and daddy, went around and started sticking a screwdriver in the plug, in the outlets. So it was a very sick way of what they're doing. And the number one question is, why would anyone do that? Why would anyone want this to happen? Well, what this Momo thing is doing is it's collecting information. And we talk about hackers. What the hackers are doing in a sick way is they communicate with this young child who's between the ages of 6 and 8, or 10 for that matter, and they more or less get information. Tell me where you are. Tell me what you do. Tell me what passwords are. And then when they get what they need, they encourage the young child to say, if you don't do harm to yourself, I will do harm to your family. So in some cases, one of it was get razor blades, get your father's razor blades, and cut your daddy. Well,
you better do it in this case.
This is absolutely critical that you do monitor. You do not let your child go away on YouTube, watch what they're doing, because they start off looking at very simple, oh, look, there's a, Piglet and Pogo or whatever the children cartoon videos are. And you think, oh, that's harmless. Okay, that's great. And it is. It's an actual episode of the show. And how they do it is they put these videos implanted as a pop-up or in the middle of a video that will then stop while you're maybe not paying attention, and the video will then come up. So it's quite a concern. I've only heard about it in Canada recently, but it's been in the UK, it's across Europe, and I've heard it's in the US.
So that's it. And it's not going to say, well, Momo is what this whole thing is about. But now that you are aware of this, we can say just monitor, talk to your kids about this, and don't get that, and keep, look over their shoulder, make sure they
absolutely
know what they're doing on this. You mentioned Apple a few minutes ago, who started around the same time you did. I think they made a little more money than you have over the last little while.
Well, they made a little, but
a little bit more.
I mean, iPods were the big craze in 2003, if you can believe it. Now they don't even make them anymore, and now they're $1 trillion company. So, I've got a lot of work ahead of me. Yeah, I haven't quite figured that out.
I'm still using my portable CD player, but anyway. But which, by the way, is rather interesting. Because that was a related story. It's not really a tech story, but essentially they've simply said that all music is going to be streamed online now, and record stores are closing in record numbers.
Yeah.
DVDs apparently are out of, well, we know what happened with Blockbuster and all these other places.
That's
right.
Yeah.
And there was, I'm trying to think of which company it was, announced that they're not even going to make DVDs anymore because they said nobody buys them.
Samsung.
Everything is going to be streamed now.
That's right. Blu-ray is officially dead, and we talked about that before. But Blu-ray, if you think of the Blu-ray players, Samsung is officially, which is the patent developer of Blu-ray, is no longer going to be manufacturing Blu-ray devices. So if you've got a Blu-ray device, the most recent, it's going to become a collector's item, and Blu-ray videos, disc players, are going to be pretty much the main, they're going to be collector's items as well. So
but isn't it interesting to see how this is going? And a lot of people, of course, were poo-hooing this when it was starting. Like, come on, DVDs are always going to be there.
That's right, yes.
CDs are always going to be there. TV is always going to be there. Look at how Netflix is taking over television.
Well, when we also tie in the fact that 5G is coming into the market, which we spoke about, how's that going to integrate in Canada and the US? 5G, to give an example, they were just using the example of a Blu-ray disc is about 8 gigabytes, between 5 or 8 gigabytes to be able to put it in. So in that, what I can share with you is that Netflix right now and all these other Prime videos and Apple and all the other ones, that 8 gig video in the near future, within a year, 2 years, with under 5G technology, it can download in seconds. So if we've got a 4K TV, which everyone will have in the matter of 2 to 3 years, and we've got 5G to instantly send us the information, why would you need to put in that really crisp Blu-ray DVD when it's already going to be there in an instant delivery package through streaming? And going into that even further, we can see that Oculus is coming out, HoloLens by Microsoft, the virtual reality, Apple has a patent that they just announced. So Get ready. You're going to be seeing that in the next keynote of Apple. The virtual reality 4K relies on streaming. It's going to be pretty immense when you put a helmet on, and you'll be able to feel like you're 8K, by the way. 4K is so yesterday. I'm sorry. I'm using old terms on our Tech Talk show. 8K is going, and what is 8K? It is a 4D resolution. 4D references 3D, except it's in a four-dimensional, meaning it's 360 around you. So 8K, basically 8 million pixels is more than the human eye can even comprehend. I'm looking at Bill. Technically, if I had a virtual reality helmet, I'd be looking at him in 8K. And this is existing. It's coming out. You and I will be able to do the radio shows probably with virtual helmets, and we'll have a whole studio of people joining us simply from our own desk.
Well, that's great news for companies like Apple, and it's good to know that things are rolling like that. But their autonomous driving, not so much.
No, what happened? And you know what? And by the way, we announced this a few weeks ago. Apple caught one of their very particular, even though Mr. Jobs is gone, they are very particular about their secrets about how they operate.
I can imagine that.
So what they did was they actually announced, now this is not Apple's in trouble, $1 trillion company, they're getting rid of it. What they've done is it's called Titan. The Titan self-driving program is an Apple company, and they made the announcement they're laying off 190 employees as part of the restructuring. The reality is they feel the secrets of which their self-driving companies have been leaked. So what they're doing is they fired everybody. And they're now going to be rehiring everyone in light of that to make a point to say if we can't trust anyone within, we don't know what circles have been basically got holes in it. We're getting rid of everyone, and they're going to restart. That's actually pretty bold. They're doing pay off everyone, start fresh with engineers, coders, testers, everything else, because they really did feel that their self-driving technology was going to be compromised.
Let's talk about this is one of the downsides, I guess, of tech. And it's the old thing of, I'm going to get replaced by a machine, and that's always a concern, right? Well,
Yes.
and whether it's going to be, any number of different things. You've talked about drones. You're a drone pilot.
Yeah,
now,
I am.
And
I
you
am.
see that happening.
Yep.
But the delivery services look like they're the next ones, because is it FedEx that's looking into this?
That's right. FedEx they're right now doing a pilot project. And if you could see this, it looks like a robotic ATV with 4 wheels that can climb stairs and has arms. And think of it as a box on 4 wheels driving remotely.
Does it wear shorts?
No, it works at all temperatures, I can tell you that.
Like
And
the UPS guy?
they did mention it is capable of working in snow up to 3 feet of snow. It's got
Wow.
chains. And so they're testing it in northern climates in Montana at the moment. FedEx has 2 test pilots where they're running these robotics with a box delivery system where your package, when you order from Amazon, will be delivered by robotic. And yes, it will be able to drive to your home, show up and be able to deliver your package. And it's testing currently the system as to how it can be arriving, how you can accept the package. It's actually going as far as if you get regular packages from FedEx, it will arrive with a FedEx box, drop it at the location, because we hear packages getting stolen if you don't accept it. You'll be able to leave your package with a lockbox on it and have alarms. The robot will leave with the box still sitting there, and then when you get home, you open the box, it will notify the robotic to show up at any time, pick it up, and basically leave. So think of it as almost like a lockbox dropped at your front doorstep with an alarm system until your code unlocks it, so your packages can be delivered safely to your house.
Now, this is just still in the test process.
It's testing right now, yes, but it is pretty cool to watch it happen.
What's going on with Facebook?
Facebook is announcing that they will be giving all of us the ability to fully delete your history of posts. Yes, you will be able to go in and do a mass exodus of your post. If you are one of these people that's like, I want to just get rid of all of it. I don't want to go through individually, delete, or remove my account and then start up a fresh one and lose all my friends. Expect him in the near future, meaning within the next 2 months, you will be able to go in, select a delete option, and you'll be able to pick from the start of time or from selected years or from selected time frames, and you will be able to remove 100% your Facebook history. I don't know how important that is to anyone, but I think it's pretty valuable if you're like, I just don't want it anymore. Keep in mind, you may be able to delete delete it. The public may not be able to access it, but everything you post still stays on the server up in the cloud.
We mentioned that I wanted to talk something about medical tech too, and there's I think an amazing story out of Germany.
Yeah, well, what we've seen out of Germany is something that I think is going to revolutionize medical in a whole different way. And imagine right now, the Juravinski Center has a clinic, and you go up depending on your cancer situation. I sat on the board with CAP. We always had to try and find, and you know, it's my sister has stage 2 brain cancer, and you know the challenges she's gone through, the issues she's had, and she's been treated very well with how to get to the clinic, be taken care of. Germany is testing right now 560 patients, and this is true. They have a vaccination, not for all cancers, and there's many of them,
sure.
But there's a vaccination for 10 of the types of cancers that they will be able to do an injection, very similar to getting shots for the mumps or the flu. You'll be able to go up, get a shot, and what it does is it boosts your immune system to attack the cancer cells, primarily in tumor situations where you would normally need chemotherapy or radiation. You will now be able to, well, in the very near future, within the next 3 years, we could be seeing, once approved, vaccination shots if you're diagnosed with a cancerous tumor.
That's incredible. And like I say, it's not going to be for everybody, but to have that technology developed.
It's being tested as we speak.
Yeah. Listen, we're almost out of time, but I got to ask you what Lyft and Uber are doing. Are they getting into the ambulance business?
This is.
Are you kidding?
No, they have been doing a test model in the state, not testing model. More people are naturally using Uber and Lyft to get to the hospital. Instead of calling 911 in the States and Canada, people are going, geez, I got a real chest problem. I probably shouldn't drive. They're calling Uber and Lyft. And they actually are so aware of this that they are now putting a program in place. Uber Health is a system they're putting together where people with registered vans or vehicles that have large capacities, including wheelchair access, can now be used in the Lyft and Uber system that is half the cost, quicker resources, and they claim that patients that have used this service have been able to get to the hospital in a much quicker, faster frame, which really blows my mind because I think an ambulance or an EMT would be able to, get there quicker based on the lights and the actions. But what they're claiming is when you call 911, the fire truck shows, so does the ambulance. In the case of your, we're talking issues of like, geez, I got chest pain. What should I do? Lyft and Uber is quite responsive. In fact, to the point where they are the quickest to respond, the quickest to react. And now the health services in the U.S. and Canada is reviewing it. Says, geez, if we basically had that program even from insurance purposes, it's half the cost to get patients to a medical facility to get their care.
Just keep in mind, though, if anybody thinks this is a great idea, they're not medically trained.
No,
no. So it may not be the best solution.
Yeah, I don't want to encourage this. I'm just telling you this is what's kind of happening. Right. This is more on the case of where people go, geez, I got chest pains. I'm not going to call 911, but maybe I'll just get a cab, or in this case, the reason why Lyft and Uber is popular, which is why don't you just get a cab? Why is that not happening? Is because you can instantly, with Lyft and Uber, message your family members, I'm going to the hospital, and they can track where you are so they know how to get to you quickly. So that's one of the main reasons people are finding Uber and Lyft very popular, is because you can link it with your family members, a mother, an aunt, or otherwise. And when they do take the service, it notifies you and will let them know where you are on the way to the hospital.
Still going to prefer the old-fashioned way. We have to do the break right here. Thanks so much for this.
My pleasure.
We do this every Friday, of course, brought to you by Hamilton Limousine with Adam Oldfield. Happy anniversary.